going to have a really nice heart-led practice tonight because we were doing all those lovely heart openers on Tuesday. So if you recall all of that time ago, that's what we're doing, sort of the follow on from that. Okay. So you might want your blanket, you're probably going to want your bolster, um, and yeah, maybe a block or something. But blankets and soft things is probably the name of the game tonight, so that you can lie on those things. Okay, and then come and take a lie down if you wish. If you're like me and you'd rather sit up for a moment, go for it. But Janet's got that look in her eye. I don't need
lying down.
I don't need to tell her twice. She's practically already horizontal. I love it.
I've got all my gear and no idea.
Do you like my new socks? I think I love them.
What? I can't tell what they. I can tell that they're sort of a burgundy red, maybe.
Hang
Have they
on.
got flowers on them?
Eye Scandi. Ooh.
Aren't they great?
Very nice.
Nice.
Oh, flowers, flashy.
Yeah.
Retro. From where?
It's because there's a shop in Stockholm where my son lives called Gudrun Shoden. So I sometimes buy stuff from them online.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I only buy their socks because their stuff is expensive.
Yeah. Good old pair of socks.
Sorry, I had to show you my socks.
Yeah, well, I'm glad your feet are warm and colourful. There's nothing quite big. I like an interesting pair of socks.
So do I. I have a sock fetish.
Do you?
So sometimes I wear odd socks.
Oh yeah, Alistair does that. Yeah.
Just for the hell of it.
Do you know what, Janet? I will always remember you for wearing odd earrings.
Oh yes, yes.
On purpose, you know.
Well, I always wear odd earrings.
Yeah.
Do you?
So many half pairs. So
Seems
yeah,
a shame to waste them.
4 holes.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Sometimes like 2 on one side gets balanced out by a different 2 on the other side. You know?
Oh my gosh, you're not more cool than I give you credit for.
Yeah, if you only have 1 hole in each ear, then odd ones look a bit odd. But you can make a statement.
There's I keep seeing adverts online for purposefully odd earrings. So one is a yoga pose in a, like a tree or something for one ear, and then it's a different yoga pose for the other ear.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
The algorithm, because obviously all of my feed is just either yoga or videos and stuff. So yeah, so I get a lot of adverts for yoga apparel and yoga.
You know, I've got earrings of kettles and measuring jugs and forks.
Oh, that's fun.
Things.
But I haven't worn an earring for so long. I think the holes are,
They'll pop open, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm very lazy about changing mine, so I've had this pair in for months.
That's interesting. I would have thought you'd change them regularly.
Well,
you just don't wear any.
See, when you get old and you're trying to look in the mirror and your fingers have gone all funny.
Janet, stop saying that word. You're not old. All right?
It's like nice.
Decrepit then.
Exactly. Nice is a forbidden word, and so is old.
Nice and good. Right, my loves, come and get comfy and let's get going. I'm going to pin me up and I'm going to go on to mute. It's lovely to see you. I know I haven't spoken to everybody directly, but as always, know that I've seen you. Thank you for coming to practice. And sorry if my text messages bothered you at 6 o'clock this morning. My alarm went off and I hadn't had a great deal of sleep because I'd woken up again at 2 a.m. and I just thought, no, do you know what? It's just a no. And I did go back to sleep. I didn't wake up until nearly 8 o'clock, which is really weird because I needed to be out of the house. I needed to get Matilda somewhere for 9. So that was fun. Anyway, there we go. Right. let's do this. So taking whatever position feels right for you, whether that's a lying down one or a sitting up one. Interesting, we've all gone for the lie down. It must be that time of year. It must be towards the end of the week. And so we spent a lot of our practice on Tuesday noticing the spaces created in the upper body. And we'll think about the heart space, anahata region, the region of the unstruck sound. This is what the anahata stands for, the sound that you don't hear. We can maybe discuss the meaning of that at the end, the sound that you don't hear. But the Anahata chakra is the bridge, basically. It's the bridge between the lower body and the upper body. It's the bridge between the more earthy, more grounded half of the body, the lower body, and more of our kind of, if you like, our outer world and our inner world, or the more sort of ethereal, the more spiritual, the more not higher, that's not the word I want to think, but the less dense. It's the same in Chinese medicine. The lower to the ground, it's heavier, thicker, it's more yin-like. And then we move higher up into the Shen, and the Shen is spirit. It's like a gas. You can't see it, but it's there. We know it's there. So the heart section of the chakras is the bridge between the denser, thicker, lower down energy centers of the body and the lighter, more spiritual centers higher up. Breathe into your heart center. The center of our feelings of love. Feel your heart beating. Tune in to the unique rhythm of your heart. Let the shoulders sink into the floor. Feel the chest softening. And literally breathe more air into the lungs, allowing yourself to breathe more freely. 1 or 2 more breaths. And then without disturbing yourself too much, I'd like you to take a roll over onto your front for our first pose, which is going to be Sphinx. Now, it's not Sphinx for very long, it's just a sort of warm up, if you like, because I want to move into the upper body in some more interesting ways in a moment. But we'll use this just to kind of create a little bit more space through the upper body. So you can come over onto your front and prop yourself up onto your forearms, using whatever supports, whatever props, blankets, bolsters you need. And with your forearms supporting you, notice your shoulders and your collarbones. And imagine that this top section of your torso is a bit like a coat hanger. And right now, from the coat hanger is hanging the front of the rib cage. Can you let the front of your rib cage hang down to the ground? Can you breathe softly and smoothly? And just relax the heart container, your rib basket. Okay, so we're just going to take a few more breaths here, with you concentrating on letting the ribs hang down. One last breath. And then we will transition, literally just rolling onto the side of your body. So I want you to come and lay on the side of one hip. Now, if this is uncomfortable, put a blanket underneath your hip if you need a bit of support, a little bit of cushioning there. Now you have the opportunity to be here like this. So literally with your one elbow, one forearm supporting you underneath. You could put things under the arm. So you could take some support to lift you higher up, blanket, block, bricks. Or you could, instead of having your elbow on the floor, you could put your hand on the floor. Okay, so this could be that your hand is close to you or your hand is further away. And this hand can go wherever it wants. It can go on the floor in front of you if you like. The idea now is that you're creating a little bit of length along this underside of your rib cage. So we've worked the front, we're now working the side, please. Okay, so you could be here. This is quite nice because then you can still hang. I think that same feeling that you had before. This time, for me, this is my left side that's underneath. So I'm going to visualize that the left side of the rib basket is just floating like a hammock in the wind, and that the lung itself, the organ, is just being cradled in the basket of the lung, and that there's loads of space there for me to breathe into. And you focus your breath there now too, just breathing in and breathing out. Now, if it gets tiring for your shoulder, if you have been on this arm for a while, then you can put something underneath your armpit, for instance. So you could lay like this and do it like that, but then obviously that's putting a little bit of pressure into the ribs, so it does change it slightly. But just go with it how you feel is right for you. And then just see if you can still breathe into the side of the rib cage and just expand gently the side lung, creating a little bit of softness, a little bit of freedom there. Okay, so we're only going to take 1 or 2 more breaths here on this side, because you know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to roll onto the other side, do the same thing on the other side. So take 1 more breath here, please. Good job. And then gently make your way over to the other side. You can just simply roll over. I'm turning around just so that I can face you. I haven't got my back to you for a whole few minutes. So again, just focus on letting the side ribs and the side body drop towards the floor. All the other sensations you might be feeling in your hip or your waist or your shoulder, they're just bonus sensations. Remember that we like compression. Compression is good for the health of your bones. So the compression you might be feeling in your shoulder joint at the moment, the compression you might be feeling in the waist or the hips, this is good because it's stimulating your bones. But in order to get that stimulation, we want to also be soft, relaxed, so that we can create length and space. So keep dropping the side ribs downwards towards the ground, visualizing your lung cradled in the hammock of your basket of ribs. And as you breathe freely and smoothly and deeply, enjoy. We did this a couple of weeks ago where we were thinking about our yin for immunity, for better breath. So we breathed our way around the lung spaces, and it's the exact same principle that applies. Okay, so let's take 1 or 2 more breaths here. Again, don't want to stay too long. What I would like you to do now is to come up to sit, please. Come up into a seated position, maybe with a little bit of support underneath you. And you can either have your feet in butterfly or sit cross-legged or take whatever seated position works well for you. And as long as you can sit upright, that's the main thing. So right now it's just coming upright and letting your hands rest into your lap. Closing down the eyelids. And then I want you to notice the stimulation that you might be feeling now around the ribs, especially on the front and the 2 sides. Yes, we did a little back bend at the beginning into Sphinx pose, but we weren't really focusing on the back of the rib cage, just the front and the sides so far. So notice how they feel. How does that region of your body feel right now? Can you breathe smoothly and deeply? Enjoying the spaces that you may have created. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. Your next position is from here going to be a forward fold. So you could stay with your legs in the shape that they are. I'm going to suggest coming into butterfly legs, but I know this isn't everybody's favourite leg position or hip position. So please feel free to play around with this, because my focus is now on the back of the body. And yes, there isn't so much of the hammock and the hammock hanging. Do you remember we did dangling pose a couple of weeks ago? Still too fresh in the memory to do it again so soon, one thinks. But basically you're just going to fold forwards into the space in front of you and allow your back body to round. So if you know that this kind of seated forward fold just doesn't work for you, and you want to take your bolster, for instance, and take a wide knee child's pose, cradling your bolster in front, then that is also fine to do as well. Okay, So any opportunity or any shape that offers you the opportunity to flex forwards, to round fully, and to simply hang out there. Feel the back of the ribs expanding. The inhalation creating a welcome sense of space. The exhalation, a sense of wrapping, holding, hugging the back of your heart. Feel the ribs release here. Tune in to the subtlety of these movements. The breath in the back of your body is not generating big open spaces, but gentler, softer ones. Now let's offer a little bit of rest to the body. So slowly come up and out of this shape. And then let's lie down. Just simply bring yourself down onto the back of your body for a few moments of rest. Okay, so let's take 1 or 2 more breaths. And then slowly bending the knees and rolling to the side so you can come around and up or have a look at the screen. So fish pose is coming up next. We did this on Tuesday, so we're going to do it again tonight. If you're feeling strong, then use a brick, but if you need something softer, use a blanket. The brick can be on its end, it can be along your spine. So I'll show it to you with the brick because you could probably see that a bit more clearly. Oh, and you you might want to have a block or a blanket for your head. But basically the brick goes along the spine. So this is where it's a little bit it's a little bit more challenging because the brick is so hard. So if you know that you can't cope with the intensity of the brick, then please use something a bit softer. And then I'm probably going to put a block underneath my head just to kind of catch it, so I don't feel like I'm having to drop my head back so far. This is quite an intense heart opening, back bend. So please, if you feel that the brick, and I have got it on its medium setting, so you could put it on its flatter setting for a gentler practice, or like I said, use something softer, maybe roll up a blanket and put that along your spine instead. You could use your bolster, but then it becomes a Supta Baddha Konasana, like a lying butterfly, and I want it to be more fish-like. Fish is really opening, pulls the shoulders backwards, opens the chest, and tips the head back a little bit. And with all of that in mind, you must make sure that you're properly supported. Okay, so make sure there's the softness for the back that you need. Make sure there's something catching the back of your head. And then we can go gently back into the center of the heart and feel the physical beat of the heart again. You're probably very aware of it right now, especially when you first come into this shape. It's very intense to begin with, or can be. Then we have to give way to the energetic heart. Perhaps you'd like to visualize a softly glowing ball of either pink or green light. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here, please. Okay, so to come out, gently bend the knees. Now, if your brick has got sharp edges, take super good care. Maybe just come up to sit, or you can softly roll off to the side and just lie in a little curled up position or any other resting place that works for you. Then, when you're ready, making sure there's no props underneath you, roll onto your back again. And enjoy. For me, it's that coming back to these neutral positions that just speak all the volume. Okay. So our next pose kind of carries on with the same theme, but it is a pose with 2 options. 2 options because there's kneeling involved in one of the options. And obviously I know that some of you don't enjoy kneeling so much. So the next pose is essentially melting heart, which if I show you the pose and then you can decide the variation that you want to take. So classically, melting heart is up on the knees, bottom stays above the knees, and then you slide the hands forwards and you're bringing your chest and your chin down to the ground. Now, they don't have to touch, you can just let them hang, just like we've hung into the hammock of the ribs before. But equally, you could put your block underneath your chest and come down to rest onto that. You could use your bolster for in the same way. So there's that to have a play with. You can also take your hands quite wide out to the sides. Sometimes that feels quite nice as well. Okay, so that's option number 1. Option number 2 is essentially to do the same thing, and I'm going to set it up like this so that you can see, but it's kind of the same thing. So you've got your knees bent, bolster into the small of the back, but I do want you to take your arms like this, so you've kind of got that same opportunity to open into your shoulders. Now for me, I would find it quite challenging to lie like this for 3 minutes, so I'd need something underneath my hands. So I've already used my bolster. Maybe I could swap the support underneath me for some blankets or cushions, or take a couple of blocks behind me and then just have them there so that I've got something to rest the hands onto, and it just kind of takes out just that little bit of efforting. But equally, if you get pins and needles or any sort of discomfort in the shoulders, having the arms in this position for this much time, then please find a different space to be in, okay? Just coming and having a look at what you're doing. Yeah, that's nice. And remember that melting heart is a bit like puppy dog pose, and you could do a quarter dog. So puppy dog is like a half dog, but a quarter dog is where if you're in melting heart, you could use one forearm for a pillow underneath your forehead. so that you just have one arm forwards, and sometimes that can feel quite nice. But do remember, whilst I do want there to be a little bit of emphasis in the shoulders, it is also about creating the opening through the heart center. Okay, so imagine the same kind of hammock of your heart. The hammock is the ribs. Last few breaths here. If you need to come out sooner, you need to move your arms, please do. Last breath. Very well done, everybody. Gently release. Take your time. Also enjoy whatever movement or relief that you want to take. Your final pose is a lying down one, so if you want to come into that now, you're very welcome, or if you want to do something else to stretch out, to release, then please do. All right, so make your way into a lying position and just rest for a few more breaths. Okay, so our final shape to take us towards the end of the practice is a twist. So, starting lying down, can you perhaps take your arms out wide to the sides and maybe slightly higher up so that they're not in, your hands are not in line with your shoulders, but they're maybe in line with your face. So you've just got a little bit more openness through the upper body. The knees can bend, feet can be on the floor, and you might want to take your knees and your feet together. You could lift your feet off the floor and bring your knees towards your chest if you want to. Then the knees are simply going to roll over to one side. You can put something underneath them or even in between them if you want, but I'm going to suggest that you turn your head away from your knees towards the hand that's sort of in line with your face. And hopefully by now, towards the end of this practice tonight, there's this sense of real release and space through the ribs, through the upper body, upper torso, the shoulders, but also this sense of release energetically. We want to create space not only for the physical heart to beat, but also for a sense that the emotions connected to this area, that of being open, that of giving and receiving love, that those factors can happen with ease. When we've been hurt, our guard comes up. We put up the defenses, we protect ourselves, we don't want the heart getting hurt. However, in order to receive love and also to give love, we need to lower those barriers down. Okay, 1 or 2 more breaths on this side. And then can you swap sides, please? Taking your time, no rush. If your shoulders get tired, if your arms, fingers get pins and needles, please feel free to move the hands. Do you encourage the legs to rest? Or at least to be in a position where you know that the ground is underneath you. You know that the ground is going to make its way towards your bent knees, even if that takes you a few breaths to get there. Now, as your heart space expands, with room to give and receive love. Gather a sense of connectivity, the interconnectedness of all of our hearts, the hearts of everyone in this group practicing together tonight. When our heart space is open, we have a greater sense of connectivity. You got 1 more minute here. And then slowly and softly release this shape. Do whatever comes to mind that feels sensible. If it's a hug of the knees and a rock across your back body. And then come to rest in your final position for Shavasana. Just for a few minutes, not for very long. We'll take a little visualization here. So, settle into the ground. Relax your back body down. Become absolutely still again. And pour all of your attention into your still body. Gather your awareness behind your breath. Turn up the volume of receptivity, of openness and acceptance. Feel a deep sense of release, of wholeness and peace. Drop into your energetic and physical heart space in the chest. And from the cave of your heart, what quality would you like to extract, to embody, maybe for the next 24 hours? Listen while the heart speaks. Maybe it's kindness, maybe it's compassion, or it's a willingness to love more openly and more fully. As you embody this quality, kindness, compassion, willingness to love more openly and fully, as you embody it, let it saturate your being. Be present to yourself, for yourself, just as you are. And thank yourself for showing up today. And then when you are ready, let the visualization, if there is one, let it fade, but hold on to the energy. And bring your awareness back into the space that you're in. Take a deeper breath or two. Take a stretch out if you need one. Gather your knees in towards you and then have a roll over to the side. And you can gently come round and up to sit. Let's finish our practice together. Take your fingertips out to the sides. On your next inhalation, let the arms open up wide. Gather all the lovely energy of your practice to your palms and just slowly bring it back down towards the center, where you can store a little bit of it away so that you can come back to it whenever you need to. Take a breath in and namaste to you, and have a really, really lovely, peaceful evening. Well done, everybody. There we go.